Mr. President, do you think Elon Musk is a threat to U.S. national security? And should the U.S., and with the tools you have, investigate his joint acquisition of Twitter with foreign governments, which include the Saudis?
I think that Elon Musk's cooperation and/or technical relationships with other countries is worthy of being looked at. Whether or not he is doing anything inappropriate, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that it's worth being looked at. But that's all I'll say.
From the podium today.
And one more question, unrelated, sorry. The president yesterday said that it should be, that the Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter should be looked into as a potential threat to national security. Can you offer anything about why? And he also said there are many ways to look into that. How would you look into that?
Well, you heard the president yesterday, and the CFIUS process is the normal process through which transactions that might have a national security nexus get reviewed, and I will defer to the CFIUS process rather than comment on it further from this podium.
You've said several times from this perch right here that the White House wants to remain independent from the Justice Department. I cover the Justice Department at DOJ. Those folks will say we want to stay totally independent. I know Jake was asked earlier by Weijia about this comment with Elon Musk and having people, it's worthy of looking into Elon Musk's relationship with other businesses. He talked about CFIUS. CFIUS is made up of the Treasury Department and DOJ officials. What did he mean? What does that mean when the president says worthy of being looked into? It's raising some questions.
So the National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, just answered that question. I'm just not going to go beyond that. He is, as you know, the advisor to the National Security Council. I'm just not going to go beyond that. And as the president said, and as I have said many times, okay. Going to do another like 15 minutes. Chris, you want to kick us off?
Inflation not as high as was expected, but we are hearing about these layoffs in these major companies, Meta and Twitter. What is the message to American companies who are concerned that those layoffs could be a sign that the economy could be headed toward a recession?
So we are aware of the layoffs at Meta and other tech companies that you just laid out, Kristen. I don't have a comment on the moves announced by Meta today specifically, but more broadly speaking, the most recent jobs and CPI report, the one from today, suggests that the U.S. economy continues to grow.
Given the underperformance of candidates who were backed by the former President Trump, what does President Biden believe that says about Trump's standing in the Republican Party?
So meaning like basically the candidates that he put forward?
Correct.
So, and the president has said this, you heard him say this many times over the last, especially the last several weeks, is that the election was a choice and not a referendum, as the president said, again, throughout the fall. So Republican candidates said their top priority was undoing Inflation Reduction Act.
But I mean, specifically Trump-backed Republicans. Does the president think that, their losses show that he is losing power within the GOP?
Look, I can't speak to the support that he has or doesn't have. What I could speak to, and as you're asking me about the particular, the folks that he backed, they were extreme, right? They were MAGA extremists. And that's what I mean, right? They were people who